So today let's start with one of the very important topic of management, and it is totally related to the organizational working and the working of the employees. Because until unless you are having a good motivated workforce, you cannot achieve your organizational objectives. So for achieving your organizational objectives, you must have a very satisfied and contented workforce behind you. Because until unless you are having such a workforce, motivated workforce which is ready to work for the organization, thinks that having a sense of belongingness regarding the organization, we cannot think about a good future prospect. So let's start with that very important topic, that is motivation. In a layman language, motivation means that a force or a power which motivates or will bring confidence into your employees, into your workforce, that they can hit the ball, they can achieve the targets, they can accomplish the objectives and goals set by the organization. So, as per the definition, let's go up with the meaning of motivation. Motivation is an important factor. Here it says that which encourages a person, which brings a zeal or enthusiasm into a person that yes, I have to do. And that workforce which is fully motivated can only be brought up or can only be modified or can only be defined in the form of a satisfied workforce. Until unless your workforce is fully contented, fully satisfied, this word motivation is totally useless. So now let's go. What motivation means? Motivation is an important factor which encourages persons to give their best performance and help in reaching enterprise goals. Until unless your workforce or your employees are performing very well, it is very difficult to achieve your organization goals or objectives. A strong positive motivation will enable the increased output of employee, but a negative motivation will reduce their performance. So your motivation should always be into a positive side or into a positive direction. If any kind of element you are having in your organization which is bringing a negative motivation into your workforce, then it will lead to non-achievement of your organization goals and objectives. Once the employees are totally motivated and they are ready to work for the organization is playing totally safe and secure. A key element in personal management is motivation. This is the basic element of personal management, or we can say human resource management, that you should keep your force, you should keep your employees always motivated. Until unless the employees are motivated, they will be not giving you the same performance which is expected. They will be not running after your organization objectives. No, because they are not motivated. And this factor, demotivation or non-motivation, can be very harmful for the organization. In the word of Lickers, let's go. It is a core of management which shows that every human being gives him a sense of worth in face growth, which are most important to him. A supervisor should strive to treat individuals with dignity and recognition of their personal work. Means to say that every organization have assets in the form of human resource also, but they are required to be recognized. Every employee must know about his work in the organization. And until unless the organization, the enterprise, the concern is giving work to that particular employee, that employee will not be motivated. So this is the core element of motivation, that is recognition. Employees must be recognized. They must be credited with the work done by them, so that they should keep on doing such works and they should keep on functioning like that, which is a very important aspect for the achievement of our group goals, organizational goals, or organizational objectives. Because until unless an employee is recognized, he is doing about his work in the organization, he will not giving his best to the organization, because he knows that if he is not recognized, he is not having any kind of work, then he or she is useless for the organization. His efforts, his functioning will not add on to the organization, and that can be a problem for the organization. So let's move into the definition. According to Bergson and Steiner, a motive is an inner state. Inner state means from the within. You have to make such a force, you have to create such a important environment, you have to create such a thing that the employee is motivated from his inner conscience. It does not require any kind of extra external pressure or force to motivate him. He must be motivated from within, energizes, activates or moves and directs or channels behavior both. Yes, motivation energizes, motivation activates, motivation moves or channelizes the group goals, because when an employee is motivated, he puts his full efforts into the achievement of goals. And if this is done, then all the efforts will be moving into the same direction, and moving all the efforts into the same direction will lead to achievement of good goals and objectives in a very sooner manner. We can be able to get our objectives done in a very less span of time. Lilith says, it is the simulation of an emotion or desire operating upon one's will and promoting or driving into action. Now, he says that motivation is basically a desire which has to be created, or we can say a will which has to be created among the employees, that why should they work for the organization? Why should they give their best performance to the organization? So, until unless they are having a sense of belongingness, they are having a feel of belongingness toward the organization, and they will be taking the work of the organization as their own, they will be not able to give their best to the organization. There is saying that only that what we have to do is we have to make them motivated in such a manner that it is their will to work. They are willingly ready to work. It is their desire to work. They are not forced, they are not prescribed by any kind of external force. They are willingly doing the work, and they are ready to do the work from their inner conscience, by their internal feelings that yes, this is my organization and I have to work on it. Moving to the next, encyclopedia of management. Motivation refers to degree of readiness of an organism to pursue some designated goal and implies the determination of the nature and locus of the forces, including the degree of readiness. So when I talk about degree of readiness, what I am talking about? I am talking about the inner will of the employee, that how much percentage of his own he is ready to work. Yes, whether he is ready to work on his own or not, and if not, then what are the forces which are stopping him from doing work? Why is he not motivated? What are the things, what are the factors which will make him discontented or dissatisfied? Because unless you are satisfied from within, that force or that zeal will not be present into your function, into your work, which will lead you to work for the organization or give your best to the organization. Dewey says, motivation is a complex of forces starting and keeping a person at work in an organization. Right? It is a force, it is a complex force which includes sometimes external environment also. Because if an employee is not getting a good external environment from the organization, the working environment, then he or she can be demotivated or dissatisfied. Because working environment, working culture plays a major role in the working of the employee, that why should they work very hard, or why should they give their maximum input to the organization. So this is the thing what we pointed out, that motivation is a complex forces and it is starting and keeping a person into work in an organization. Moving to the next, now we come to the nature of motivation. As we have discussed earlier also, that when we are talking about motivation, then we are talking about that specific force which is making an employee willing to work, making an employee give his best efforts to the organization, and that is from his inner conscience. What we are doing, we are not forcing him, we are not creating any kind of such pressure upon him that you have to work, you have to give your maximum output to the organization. But we are creating such sense of belongingness from it within conscience that you should work. by providing such factors or by giving as a good working environment. So let's move into the nature of motivation, or we can say characteristics of motivation, or we can say features of motivation that are the main important characteristics. So moving to it, motivation is a psychological phenomenon which generates within an individual. Psychological means it is into your mind. It is into your mind. It cannot be inculcated within you. It must be from within yourself. You have to bring that feel of motivation within yourself. It cannot be, put it upon you, or it cannot be, we can say, strongly or pressurely or forcefully put it upon you. No, it should not be external power. It should be internal power or internal will, or the will of the concern that you are ready to work. A person feels you lack of certain needs to satisfy, feeling working more. Yes, sometimes when my need or our need are not fulfilled, then you feel lack of working. You do not want to work because again and again the same thing repeated into our mind. Yes, when I'm not able to fulfill my needs, then why should I work? Why should I give more and more to the organization? The need satisfying ego motivates a person to do better than he normally does. But at the same time, when an organization is satisfying those needs, when an employee performs well or he gives his maximum output to the organization, then why should not he be motivated? Why should not he be willing to do work? Why should not he be giving maximum output to the organization? So to make this thing into your employees, to bring this craving into the employees, and organization should work on this motivational aspect that his or her employee should be fully satisfied, they must be fully contented. Coming to the point of nature, from definitions given earlier, the following influences can be derived. What we have read earlier, what we have studied about motivation earlier in its meaning and various definitions given by various management gurus and management practitioners, we have derived some point regarding the nature of motivation. Point number one says, motivation is an inner feeling which energizes a person to work done. Yes, very rightly said. Motivation is never an external feeling. It is always an inner feeling that makes you more and more attached, that makes you more and more inclined towards the organization and towards the accomplishment of organization goals and objectives. This force is present within you. It has to be only, we can say, generated. It has to be only given, we can say, it has to be given a movement, or it has to be given a path, or it has to be, lightened up. It is within you, but it has to be lightened up by providing some of the other kind of motivation factors, some of the other kind of motivation incentives that makes you feel that yes, the organization is thinking so much about me, why should not I? I must also give my best to the organization. Second point says, the emotions or desires of a person prompt him from doing a particular work. Yes, when you are emotionally attached, when you are having some desires to work or to achieve, then that desire forces you to work or get the work done of your organization. So, the second nature of motivation says that when a person is emotionally attached, he is having some desire, and you know that those desires can only be fulfilled when it gives best to the organization, then organization will also be supporting him or her, organization will also be providing opportunities to fulfill his desire, then only the employee wants to get the work done. There are unsatisfied needs of a person which disturb his equilibrium. Yes, right. When a person comes to an equilibrium point, he thinks that yes, now everything is being correct, or now everything is being balanced. Sometimes those unsatisfied needs, those unsatisfied desires again kick you back from doing the work for the organization or giving your best to the organization, because those unsatisfied needs or desires, they again click into your mind. They again knock the door of your mind that yes, we are still left unfulfilled. We are still unsatisfied. We are not having this, we are not having that. And those desires does not allow an employee to move forward or to take a step forward. So we should not have any such needs of an employee unfulfilled, or employee should not be unsatisfied by hitting on some of his needs. A person moves to fulfill his unsatisfied needs by conditioning his energies. Now, when I found that I'm having so much unsatisfied needs within me and I have to fulfill them, I have to satisfy them, and that can be done if I give more and more to the organization, because organization also pays that. So in this sense, that person gets energizes. He knows the energy given to him for the organization can lead to more and more fulfillment of his unsatisfied needs. So he does best to the organization. He tries more and more for the organization. The efforts done by that particular employee are doubled, because now what he knows that if he get energizes and if he achieve those organization goals with the help of his peers, with the help of his colleagues, then his unfulfilled needs will be satisfied. So this give spark to the employee that want to work for the organization. Next, there are dormant energies in a person which are activated by channelizing them into action. Now when we talk about dormant energies means that energy, that percent of energy which is being untouched, which is lying idle. So if an organization is able to activate that particular energy within its employees, then an organization will also be able to get its objectives or goals fulfilled done very sooner, because as the employees get activated, that particular energy gets channelized, then he work more and more for the organization. Suppose he is ready to work for 2 hours, he will be working for 4 hours, he will be giving his maximum output, he will be putting his all efforts within him for the achievement of organization goals and objectives. Moving to the next, we come to importance of motivation. Now, if I have a recall of nature of motivation, then we have some specific points which are to be, kept into mind when we are studying the nature, feature or characteristics of motivation. First point says that motivation is an inner feeling. Point number 1, motivation is an inner feeling. It is not an external feeling, or it cannot be inculcated among employees, within employees. It has to be inner bond, or it has to be the voice of your conscience that yes, I have to work. In the same manner, second most element is your needs, desires and their satisfaction. And the third important point says that the energy which is left idle within the employees, that energy has to be activated or it has to be channelized, because until unless that particular energy is channelized and activated, your employees will not be giving their maximum to the organization. So, to have a maximum output from your organization, you have to search within, or you have to activate that energy which is lying idle in your employees. Moving to the next, we come to importance of motivation. As I think you all must have known or come to know about the importance of organization from what we have studied in the meaning, definition and nature of motivation. Let's discuss that in detail. Management tries to utilize all the sources of production in a best possible manner. Yes, we don't want to any source remain idle, or we don't want to waste any of our sources, and that can be done when your employees are also with you. They are also supporting and cooperating you in making maximum use of your resources and avoiding waste. This can be achieved only when employees cooperate in this task. Efforts should be made to motivate employees to contributing their maximum. The efforts of management will not bear fruit if the employees are not encouraged to work more. Yes, when you are doing much for avoiding wastage or making maximum use of your resources, your efforts are futile if your workforce or your employees are not supporting you or cooperating you in this task. So for this, what you have to do is, you have to make your employees motivated first, because if you are having a motivated workforce, then they will be moving parallel to you. Parallel to you joining hands to hand for avoiding wastage and making maximum use of available resources. The motivated employees become an asset to the organization. Now, yes, when your employees get motivated, they are having a feel of attachment, a sense of attachment of belongingness toward the organization. And now they are your asset. Because as you make use of the land building, treat them on your own in the same form. When your employees are motivated and they feel that this organization is theirs, they are having the feel that they also belong to this organization also belongs to them. They are not the workers, but somehow they are also the owners of that particular organization. If you are having such a feel, if your employees are having such a feel, such motivated employees can take you to a great heights of success. So for this, motivation is very important for an organization. An organization should do all his best to motivate his employees so that he will be getting more and more output from his employees. Now, coming to the importance of motivation, point number 1 says high performance. Yes, motivated workforce or encouraged workforce or confident workforce give you more of product or profit, because now it is a highly motivated workforce, so it will be giving you high performance. The performance percentage will be reaching very fast. It will be increasing very fast up to higher level. So point number 1 says motivated employees will put maximum effort for achieving organizational goals. Correct? As I discussed earlier also, when an employee is fully motivated, he thinks that all his needs are being satisfied, or later or sooner they will be satisfied by the organization. Then he will be giving his maximum output. The untapped reservoirs, physical and mental abilities are tapped to the maximum. The things which are not being touched by the organization, that energy which has been left idle by the organization, now will be the capture of organization and it will be used for the benefit of the organization. Better performance will also result in higher productivity. Yes, the cost of production can also be brought down if productivity is raised. Yes, when you will be having higher productivity, your cost of production will be automatically decreased, because as the number of units produced will be increasing, the cost of producing those units will be decreasing. So this can be done only when you are having a motivated workforce that will be giving high performance. The employees should be offered more incentives for increasing their performance. Motivation will act as a stimulant for improving the performance of employees. Very right, because if employees are not paid something else, they will not be paid any kind of special payment will be done, then they will not be fully satisfied, or they will not be fully ready to work more, because when they know that they cannot get anything extra, then why should I give my extra efforts to the organization? Tell me why. So we must have some, you can say, privilege, or we must have some structure that we must give some other kind of incentives to the employees so that we can remain motivated. Coming to the next point, low employee turnover and absenteeism. And motivated employee will not be leaving the organization very sooner, or he will be not showing his back to the organization. He will be not absent from his duties. Why? Because he is satisfied from the organization, he is satisfied from the working culture, he is satisfied from the working environment. Then why should not he will be coming to the organization, or why should he be leaving the organization? So the next point says low turnover and absenteeism. When the employees are not satisfied with their job, then they will leave it whenever they get an alternative offer. Very correct. A person who is dissatisfied from the organization, he will be switching to the next job. As he found the offer, he will be very readily switching to the next job. But unmotivated or satisfied employees will not be doing this. The dissatisfaction of employees also increases absenteeism. Absentees, yes, they will be absent from their duties, they will be absent from their job, they will be not coming to the job on a regular basis, because they know, because coming to regularly to the organization or working more and more for the organization will not be giving them anything. So why should I go on a regular basis? I should not leave. I must take leave. I must be absent from my duties. The employment training of new employees costs dearly to the organization. When the employees are satisfied with their job and they are well motivated by offering them financial and non-financial incentives, then they will not leave the job. The rate of absentee will also be low because they will try to increase their output. Second important thing is when employees will be leaving the organization on a regular basis, then selecting and recruiting new employee and training him for the work or job done will be bearing a cost for the organization. But if your employees are satisfied and motivated, they will be not leaving the organization, then it will be saving that particular cost also. It will be having a cost benefit, and in the same manner, a satisfied employee will not be going for more and more absentees. He will be joining his duties on a regular basis because he knows that when he will be giving his maximum to the organization, he will also be paid off. His needs will also be satisfied, and then he will be avoiding taking absentees from his duties. Moving to the next point, better organizational image. Organizational image is carried through his employees, his or her employees, because no organization can bring his public image without the support or cooperation of the employees. So, if an organization wants a good image in the public, a good image in the society, first of all, his employees who have framed, who have designed the organization should be satisfied, so that it must carry a positive message regarding the organization to the public. Coming to the point, those enterprises which offer better monetary and non-monetary facilities to their employees have a better image among them. Yes, correct. When your employees are getting financial and non-financial both type of incentives, then they will be much and much satisfied, and when they are satisfied, they will be having a positive feedback or a positive word of mouth of their organization into the society. Since these are better manpower, such concerns are successfully attracting better qualified and experienced persons. So, other persons who are outside the organization, when they will be hearing about the working of that particular organization, they will also be keen to join that organization. Other qualified persons, other experienced persons, when they heard about the public image of that particular organization, then they will be also be keen, and they will be also trying to that how they should also try to join that particular organization. Since it is a betterment part development program, the employees would like to join such organization. Motivation efforts is simply personal function also. Yes, when they will be hearing that training, development, every monetary, non-monetary, financial incentives are provided, or they will better training and development is being done to the employees, then they will be ready to join, and the workforce will be improving day by day. We will be having more qualified, more experienced, better employees in our organization, and that will result to rise in production, and rise in production will result to decreased cost, and with overall scenario we will be having a well motivated workforce or well motivated employees in our organization. So moving to the next point, we come to better industrial relations. Better industrial relations means the relations between employer and employee. It is automatically understood that when an organization will be providing good working conditions, healthy environment, then there will be no point of conflict between employer and employee, because the task force or workforce is very much satisfied. He is having fulfilled all his needs or what he required. So when any kind of dissatisfaction, any kind of discontentment does not exist within the employee, then there is no issue of any kind of conflict, and relations between the employer and employee are very smooth, or we can say we will be having a cordial relationship among both of them. A good motivation system will create job satisfaction among employees. The employment will offer those better service conditions and various other incentives. Yes, when we are providing all these things, the employees will be very much satisfied. There will be an atmosphere of confidence among employers and employees. Confidence means that both of them are confident that neither from employer side nor from employee side we are having any kind of problem. Our employers are providing all those things which are required for our working and an employee are also enjoying and having those things available which are required to them for their working. So no place lies for any kind of conflict, or we can say no space lies for any kind of conflict. There will be no reason for conflict and coordination from both sides between health and atmosphere. So motivation of an employee will lead to better industrial relations. And in this manner, when both the aspects, employer and employee, are satisfied, then there is no space for any kind of conflict between them, and we will be having good industrial relations. Coming to the next point, acceptability of change. Change, which is required, or you can say change is need of hour. Because if an organization does not change its working culture, its organization does not change its techniques, working techniques, its machinery, its style of working, and when an organization is changing its style of working, its technique, then employees should be ready to accept those changes. Because employees are not able to accept those changes, then it will lead to, you can say, a negative impact on their job, or we can also say that they can even lose their job. Because after some time, or as the time passes, we need changes. Changes are required. We cannot say that we can follow the same pattern, we can follow the same process and procedures, methods, or work methodology for a very long time. No, we cannot do that. We have to make changes because changes are required for the progress of an organization. An organization will become stable. It will stop at a particular point, and its growth and development will also stop. Because if you will be not bringing changes into your working methodology, you are not bringing any kind of change into your techniques, the way you work or your functioning, then your growth and development will also be stopped. You will be reaching your saturation point very soon. So you have to bring changes. Now, it's part of employees that they have to accept those changes, because if they will be not accepting those changes, then they will be not able to survive. What we can say in the present era, it is the survival of the fittest. If you are fit, then only you can survive. Coming to the point, the changing social industrial situations will require changes and improvements in the working of enterprises. There will be a need to produce new and better methods of work from time to time. Generally, employees resist changes. Resist change means they are not ready to adopt changes, because they know if changes are taken, they have to change themselves. They have to accept, and they have to go to study those changes. They have to research about those changes, and they have to adapt to changes. Then only they can work according to new methodology and techniques. Generally, when the employees are given various opportunities of development, then they can easily adapt to new situations. But when an employee knows that when I will be accepting those changes, then I will be promoted, then I will be getting more financial benefits, I will be getting more non-financial benefits, then he or she is ready to accept or to adapt those changes. Because when they know that those changes are also related to his or her personal growth, then they will be adapting that changes very easily. So an organization must have such promotional policies or must have some such promotional structure that when you undergo any kind of training or development, then you will be getting some financial or non-financial incentives. They will think of positive side of new changes and will cooperate with the management. Will be able and will be willing to cooperate with the management for adapting those changes. If the employees are satisfied with their work and not offered better revenues, then they will oppose everything suggested by the management. Motivation will ensure that acceptability of new changes by the employees. Now, next point says that when employees are satisfied and they know that if they will be adapting those changes, they will be having more revenues, more job opportunities, more good working culture in the organization, then they will be easily adapt to those changes, and they also will be cooperating the management in accepting those changes. But if an employee knows that changes in himself or herself will not bring any kind of financial improvement or will not bring any kind of non-financial improvement, then employee will not be willing to bring about the changes. Leading means why I have added this point, leading motivation, because the person who is responsible for that motivated workforce or employee will be leader. Now your style of leading also have a great impact on your subordinates or your employees. If you are having a good leading style, we will be discussing this in well detailed manner later on. But just for a overview, I have given one paragraph regarding leading. So when we will be having a workforce which is depending or which is seeing only you for getting motivated, then you have to perform a very good role in that. Leading involves the social and informal source of influence that you use to inspire action taken by others. If managers are effective leaders, their subordinates will be enthusiastic about exerting effort to attain organizational objective. If we have a good motivated leader, an activated leader for our workforce or for our employees, then they will be also motivated by default automatically. They will be seeing their leader. Yes, we are having a good motivated leader, then why should not we? We should also be motivated and we should also work hard and hard for the achievement of organizational objectives. The behavioral sciences have made many contributions to understanding these functions of management. Personality research and studies of job attitudes provide important information as how managers can most effectively lead subordinates. We have various researches done. We have various, management practitioners, management authors, management gurus who have studied, who have done a deep research into this. That what is personality attitude, who is a leader, what type of personality a leader should possess, what type of leader can also motivate his workforce. So all these things have been done because it is a very important part in an organization. A leader plays a very important, or we can say a vital role in an organization. Studies of motivation and motivation theory provided important information about the ways in which workers can be encouraged to put productive efforts. Studies of communication provide. Now, for making motivation more clear, we are having theories of motivation. What are theories of motivation? Theories of motivation are various theories which are being developed by management gurus or management practitioners about employees. That what is the need, what is the requirement of an employee, or how an employee can be motivated step by step. Because until unless a person or an employee is studied, we cannot come to know that what can be an important factor of motivation. Whether only financial incentives? No. Non-financial incentives also plays an important role, because some people are very, you can say, enthusiastic regarding positions, designations. At the same time, some people put more stress or give more weightage to monetary benefits. So these studies have been done, and after those studies, important theories have been developed by various management practitioners and gurus, which we will be discussing later on. Thank you. This is all.